This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule. It is her world.
Greetings, travelers. I'm your host, the C-Dot that knows a lot, Dr. Waluigi. When it comes to popular love stories, one of my favorites is the Beauty and the Beast archetype. I know that many people complain that the story is an example of popularizing the idea of the Stockholm Syndrome relationship, but I think that there have been good examples of this story where the Stockholm Syndrome relationship doesn't exist. Which brings me to today's piece of media as that good example of the story being updated for a modern audience. And just to change things up for my show, I'll be reviewing every episode of this series, because I like this show enough that I think it deserves a complete review of every episode. This is my review of the first episode of the 1987 Beauty and the Beast television series.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule.
Created by Ron Koslow, the series was a modern update of the classic fairy tale taking place in then modern 80s New York, where it would have the belle of the series, Katherine Chandler, help the people of her world as a district attorney and the people of the world below, which is where most of the homeless people of New York were living as a community underground, including the beast of the series, Vincent, whom she had an empathic link with. It's something I've never seen done with this story, whereas other adaptations try to tell the original story with impressive practical effects, or try to update the story so it's less Stockholm Syndrome-y. The show lasted 3 seasons before it was cancelled due to the low ratings and too many changes to the third and final season. And while the series would get a reboot in 2012, I can't say much on the quality of that show, as I've only seen half of the first episode, and based on just that episode, it turned me off from checking out the rest of the show, though I may give it another watch down the line.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule.
The first episode begins with a young lawyer named Katherine Chandler, played by Linda Hamilton, who was kidnapped after being mistaken for someone who blabbed about some shady business dealings. However, she is rescued by a half-man, half-lion beast person named Vincent, played by Ron Perlman, who, with the help of his father, heal her and return her to the world above. There, Katherine makes it her goal to stop both the criminals and help others who might have gone through the same thing she went through by joining as a district attorney, while Vincent helps her out whenever she's in trouble, as he has an empathic connection to Katherine. And with all of the criminal activities that happen in New York, she's gonna need all the help she can get.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule.
Already, the best part of this show is the cast. While Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman are mostly known as the badass characters of Sarah Connor and Hellboy, this show gave us character types we've never seen them play before. Both of them are victims of circumstances where Katherine was horribly scarred and shown just how cruel the world can be. But after meeting Vincent and seeing how deformed and monstrous he is, she does find hope after seeing his world, and it rekindles her determination to try and do good for those who need it. Most of the other characters don't play huge parts in this first episode, other than to show the parts they play in the main characters' lives. So I won't mention them here, but I will discuss the important parts they play as I continue to review the rest of the show.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule.
From just the first episode, I love everything we see in the world below. The show creates this simple yet expansive world underneath New York that is a collection of junk, but used in a way to make this world unique and beautiful. But the best thing about this show are the costume designs and the makeup. With the world below, again, you can tell that these people take the stuff that the people above don't use or throw out and make something useful out of it, even if it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. I also love the makeup design for Vincent. Ron Perlman is one of those actors who most people think of as the original Hellboy, and I can see why he got that role after watching this series. His performance in this episode shows that while he is a kind and gentle creature that wants to help others, will unleash his beast rage when he senses that Katherine or anyone innocent is in danger, which is why I think of him as the best version of the beast character. It shows that while he is an animal, he has a human soul that makes him more than what he appears to be.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule.
Honestly, there aren't that many negatives I could find in this episode. Most of the negatives that I found will depend on the type of person watching the series, like asking how the world below can exist without anyone noticing them, or how Vincent became what he is. But this is the first episode, so it is implied that those questions will be answered throughout the show, and I feel like because this is still written and presented like a fairy tale, I don't mind the world the series ended up creating.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule.
Even from just the first episode, I love everything about this series. The music, the cast, the writing, all of it comes across as this beautiful modern retelling of one of the greatest fairy tales of all time. If you haven't seen this series yet, look for it now. It's worth every moment. I give the first episode of Beauty and the Beast a 10 out of 10. It's a great series that is still based on one of the best stories ever told. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Waluigi. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover, because you'll never know what's inside. Good night, everyone.
This is where the wealthy and the powerful rule. It is her world, a world apart from mine.
Deep in the heart